Today we're going to talk about digital marketing a bit.
The best marketing strategy ever is to care. People are not interested in your product advertising. They're interested in how you can add value to their life, help them live better, problem. Think better, do better, feel better, think in terms of verbs and emotions.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our second DNA Supersystems innovation sessions, where we talk about the latest technology, give some useful tips and tricks of the trade, especially in the area of digital transformation, digital marketing, funnel building, etc. All of the nitty gritties and stuff guys need to create and to establish a modern day business. And today we have the privilege to have our ninja digital marketer and copywriter, Justin van Vuuren. It's awesome to have you online with us, Just. And today we're going to talk about digital marketing a bit. Let's say the myths about digital marketing, and also a few tricks of the trade to help people get their businesses up and running, entrepreneurs, SMEs, big corporates, and all of the stuff. But without further ado, Just, how are you? And welcome.
Yes, how's it, Andre? No, I'm good, thanks to you. Glad to be on with you, and glad to finally be doing something where we can actually share this out there. For those of us who haven't been through some of our previous coaching experiences and things, that we have a lot of these type of things internal that we teach and train a lot of people with, but it's time for us to get out there and really start empowering people, especially in this time period that we're living in. I think a lot of people are just really looking for, even if it's just the basics of getting started, and that's what we want to do, just empower people. And it's a privilege just to share from the experience that I do have. I won't say that I'm the best in the world. I will definitely not say I'm where I should be, but each of us has, I think, something valuable to share, and if we can just learn from each other, then we all grow stronger in any case.
We've been around the block, been there, done that, got the t-shirt, paid the prices over and over. So we've been around the block.
Let's just say you don't have to go learn from the person who knows the most, but you can learn a lot from the person who's failed the most.
Yes, failing forward.
They can tell you exactly not what to do. So.
Definitely, failing into success. So we've had some good successes as well, to put it out there. But we'll get into some of the questions just to put it out there. If you guys are watching live, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Give us a shout out. We'll definitely love to bring you on if you have questions. If you are watching a rerun or later on this, be sure to leave a comment or questions, or to connect with us. You can always book a discovery meeting if you would like to branch out your business into the digital sphere, especially marketing and the latest digital funneling software and stuff that we also offer. And then if you also would like an awesome digitally custom-made background like I have, this is one of the many that are super, let's say, After Effects specialist and video editor Lionel Goldberg designs. You can also have a look at. I'll be sure to leave the links in that. Okay, but without further ado, let's get into it. Justin, what is digital marketing?
Okay, well, that's a very good question, I think, to start off with. And what I've done is I've actually just got a presentation that I've used in a training before, just to go through it. It just helps to visualize it. I like to make things visual and put the building blocks, because if people can see the concept, then it helps you to learn a lot better. So I'm just going to switch over to that here, and we'll just jump straight into this. So the first thing, just for the basics, just your standard Google search, the Wikipedia definition that anybody would get. Digital marketing is the component of marketing that utilizes internet and online-based digital technologies such as desktop computers, mobile phones, and digital media and platforms to promote products and services. So
it's not just Facebook marketing.
No. So this is, I'm going to get into this now. And this is actually what a lot of people have a misconception about when it comes to digital marketing, is that it's just, you see these gurus on your Facebook ads or whichever platform you're on, and they say, put yourself on Facebook or something, and that's digital marketing. But it's absolutely not. It's so encompassing. Digital marketing is actually like a it's almost like if you imagine what a mind map looks like, it's the centerpiece and it branches out into all sorts of different things. And you get specialists and experts and professionals in each of those individual branches, which could perhaps have not even any experience in another branch, but they all form part of the community of digital marketing. And so it's at a very base concept, and at the very center of it, it's using digital technologies and platforms, whatever those technologies or platforms may be, to promote a brand or a product or a service, and get it into the lives and the minds of people. So just to give you a breakdown of what I was saying, this is like how the academic view of it, how people like to explain it, is that digital marketing is the core concept, and it actually branches off into all these different types of things: search engine marketing, app development, web design, search engine optimization, video production, email marketing, content, social media branding. It can go on and on and on. These are just a few of the things. But a very basic way to understand it, instead of trying to understand all these different type of things, I like to explain something that Gary V says. I don't know if anybody here watching knows Gary Vaynerchuk, but if you are following the digital space and promoting your brand and your company in the digital space, and you probably would definitely know of him. He says it's the best marketing strategy ever is to care. And I think this is what digital marketing for me comes down to, is using digital mediums to communicate your brand. But when I say brand, it comes into our philosophy behind marketing, a lot of things, which is about a brand is nothing more than a story. And if you communicate that story through digital mediums, that's digital marketing. I mean, you can take anything. Take the story of Levi, you know, the jean company that started out making denims for people whose clothes were always tearing, and because everyone was involved in physical labor and things like that, and they came out with this denim material which was unbreakable, and they've still got the very first pair ever created, I mean, many decades ago, on display, and it's still completely unbroken, unworn, and stuff like that. And so they have this whole story about it. So that's a brand. And, you know, if the moment they start taking that into promoting that on social media, or creating a video series about it, or putting that on their website, that's digital marketing of that brand. So
and it's actually awesome that you put it like this, because I think most of the times people just care about making money. They don't really care about the people's attention out there. And I saw other thing. I'm glad you mentioned Gary V, because I'm on the Gary V trend this past few months. Always knew about him, but really been following him this past few months. And but the thing is, you have to, you must not be offended by his language, and like he says it, I that's what I like about him. He's so open and just himself. He says, I'm sorry, this is just me. But the caring aspect of your brand is a big thing, and I think it's sometimes a hard thing for people to communicate, especially over digital marketing. I don't know if you're going to get into it, but I don't want to jump the gun. But how does someone show they care? Is it just by basically bringing out the product that makes a difference in the world, and how to communicate that digitally? I mean, that's,
you know, what I would answer to that, and I'll come back to your story about Gary V and like the type of language and personality that he is, if you can put it that way. It's not just about, you know, we live in this politically correct world now, where you can't say anything and somebody gets offended, and you know, I don't know where society is going to end up if you can't just have a agree to disagree conversation with somebody, and just both put your points out there, and things like that. Let's not get into that rant now, but again, he has a certain community that he appeals to. Now, the thing where I think that type of personality, where you just openly, and I'm not saying that using vulgar language and whatever is a good thing, but I can understand where it comes from in certain things, because you have this whole type of negative stigma created around digital marketing, about the fact that you can just run a Facebook ad, you're going to make thousands of dollars, and you can just start creating 10 YouTube videos and you're supposed to become this famous influencer,
Not
or
that works.
things like that, or you're just going to run an ad and your product is going to sell. But and I think a lot of what he does comes out of that frustration and trying to communicate that to people. And I think that's why people end up following him, because he's just raw and real and authentic who he is.
And really
And just
caring
and just
in the end
yes,
of
and
it.
just expresses it as it is. And I think, even though it might not look like it to the outsider, but that's he's caring to people. He's saying, you know what, guys, wake up, because just
have to drop the bomb.
taking a picture of yourself, doing something and holding your product and sharing that's not digital marketing. That's not adding value to the person's life. And I think that's what it comes down to. It's
Adding
about,
value. That's it. I think that's the
yes,
caring aspect, is really adding value with your product, really adding value with the content you share, really adding value with the business that you what
absolutely.
value do you bring? Yeah.
And above and beyond that, it comes down to the fact that people, let's go into marketing in general and running a business in general. People don't actually care about your product. If you think about it, you might not like to hear that, but people don't like, what's a good product? People, I don't know, people don't care about whatever it is that you, let's take Levi, for example. They don't care about what that you have a denim to sell, or a jean, or a trousers or something like that. What they do care about is the fact that they need something that is that they can wear, that they can go out, that either looks good or that can handle a certain job or something. So they have a problem. They care about their problem. They care about the issue that's created in their life that is causing discomfort in their life. And so the way that you should then market is not to say, hey, buy our this pair of jeans, it's on a sale, or whatever the case. People don't care about that. What they do care about is if you say, we know that doing okay, let's take it back into the olden days. We know that going into a mine is extremely difficult and hardy, and you just brush up against the rock and then your pants tear, and then you have to work the whole day and your pants are, you have a whole story like that. People immediately connect with you because you're basically empathizing. I mean, human interaction is all about empathy. And the moment someone knows that you understand what they are feeling on the inside, immediately they start that relationship and trust building process with you. And you communicate it that way, and then you say, but we have created this because, you know what, we understand, we understand this need out there, and so we went and created this material which you can wear, and it's going to solve all your problems. Then you create what we call a story brand, and you create you basically not selling your product, you're selling the solution to a problem.
And
And I
connecting
think that's what a
the
lot of
emotion
people miss.
to it, to the
so just to tie that back quickly to digital marketing, it's you could always for instance have events and a billboard, and all the physical mediums that always were there, sending stuff out to the newspaper. But obviously the world has moved on, and obviously I mean, after 2020, I think most people are even less involved with physical mediums. I think there's certain people who's too scared to even buy a physical magazine because they have to touch it or something like that.
Something like that.
So pretty much it's really been, the world was in any case going digital with a lot of things, but I think really 2020 was that thing that kind of just kicked it off the cliff. And now everyone is busy falling and trying to build the airplane on the way down to get into the digital sphere, because a lot of people were too behind on it because they were lagging, and do we really, and focusing our marketing budget on what was working beforehand and that type of thing. And now everyone is really in the scramble to find out what works. And obviously all your predatory marketers on social media are taking all those people in and teaching them their 5-step magic formula to digital marketing, and not telling the truth. And I think that's where a lot of people appreciate, when we do conversations and things explaining this type of stuff,
and being real,
we open and honest enough to say, you know what, this is a hard journey, it's a difficult journey, it's not an overnight success. And I think any business person who has any sort of experience will be able to tell you any business transaction is not an overnight process. And there's a lot of thinking and planning and testing and spending budgets just to try find something that works before anything else. Not to put people off this, because
Yeah, but it's
the
necessary.
results you can get from it are absolutely exponential compared to any physical
Mm,
physical forms, and we'll get towards that at the end, I'm sure.
yeah,
But you know, we also just there to communicate that this is a road to walk, and if you can find someone who can help you avoid the pitfalls that you go through by learning yourself, then I would definitely
yeah.
recommend that.
So give us some insight and some realness on your successes and failures and potholes, if I can put it like that. You've encountered on the road to digital marketing. Yeah. So
Yo, okay, well, if I have to answer that, yeah, I started out pretty much. We started our own businesses. I also had my own business before I joined the whole DNA team, and yeah, it's pretty much. I know what it feels like to enter the digital space, and let's just say the business space in general, as a solopreneur,
mm,
you know, on your own, and trying to learn everything yourself, from building a website to creating a Facebook page. I mean, that's like the basics now, but I mean, that's that for if you're just new to the game, it's a completely different world. Getting yourself up on social media, then you're not even talking about building on the advanced side digital funnels and automated email systems and all this type of
yeah,
stuff that comes in. So yeah, I basically started when I joined DNA, started with a whole journey of upgrading myself and
yeah,
upskilling and
upskilling.
learning, and finding every course and blog and article and YouTube video I could find on the issue. And a lot of them are helpful, but the thing is, everybody's business and everybody's life and everybody's thing that they're trying to do is completely different.
Yep,
So it's you can get a lot of courses and a lot of videos, and you can extract the principles out of there, which is great. But when you apply it to
it looks
yourself, there's
different.
always a unique testing and
Yeah.
experimentation and all that type of stuff. Um,
I remember the first time I did one of those courses and I had to put it into practice. I quickly realized that it looks so different, and it's basically you have to not only recreate that, but the testing and the the time you put
Absolutely.
into it. It's yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we basically we were in the process of creating our coaching products, and yeah, we started out marketing. You know, you fall into the same thing, quickly create a Facebook ad, and then we marketed our very first coaching type of challenge product that we released. At that point, we were still letting people in for free,
Yeah,
which is way easier to to market than get people in. And even that, we were, struggling getting people into a webinar, getting people into the challenge, all the sign up processes, and you start to realize as well how much supplementary content and things you need to make, specifically with the digital business. I mean, it's great you can put the Facebook ad out there, but there's a whole sign up process that you need to
yep.
build. That person needs to have
Get
maybe an explainer video, how to use your platform or your app, how to know they sign up, what are the steps they need to do to be. There's a whole lot of other things that come around it. Then, just like, for instance, a confirmation email that they know their registration was
yep.
successful. There's so much you have to think about, and that's the stuff that you can only learn by literally doing it. And
Yeah.
I think that's what we did, is we did it and we walked the road. And I think this is the key word, is feedback. And I'm pretty sure Jean has talked about this as well, and it
Yeah,
will
on our
definitely
last session
be
on the
spoken about.
MVP. Mm,
Yes, it will be spoken about a lot more on this channel. Is that from the feedback, we get back what worked, what didn't work. Obviously, your analytics on your digital
mm.
campaigns as well shows you, okay, that ad really didn't work. That video, which we just did something stupid in, but we didn't even think it was going to work, had way more engagement. So out of that, you start to learn, okay, I can replicate that more. I can do something more like that, or I need to build this into the system to make sure that the customer satisfaction is there. Because also, it's so much more than just getting the person in. It's also about maintaining that customer relationship, the satisfaction, the relationship management after that you've got the lead or the customer created. So yeah, we did that. I've built numerous websites, numerous funnels for other clients and companies as well. I've been involved in training in businesses. People a lot older than me. It was quite intimidating the first time going into a board meeting with this company and then explaining, funnel processes and strategy and how they can structure their whole digital campaign to create leads and clients. They had they have a whole model of high ticket investing. So that's actually quite interesting because it becomes a lot more difficult to create leads and people who's willing to invest hundreds of thousands to millions of rands when that's your product. So then digital marketing also becomes very interesting. So we did that. And then obviously our coaching products, we've created Supersystems and getting that out there. So I've done a lot of different things. And yeah, pretty much what I've learned out of that is every single project is different. Every single project you've got to handle as it is. Every single time you've got to go and ask yourself, who's the ideal audience that I'm trying to communicate to? You have to change all your messaging to suit that person. And yeah, I think the main pitfalls that I've found really is trying to you set realistic goals. I think a lot of time you get excited and you jump on the bandwagon in terms of, I'm going to create this and in 2 weeks from now, I'm going to have all these clients and things like that. Give yourself 2 weeks, maybe just to test and find a winning advert, for instance, or something. Not to say don't create high expectations. I don't want to sound pessimistic, because again, we've had tremendous results with digital marketing, and everybody does. That's why it works. That's why people do it. That's why you get so many courses about it. That's why you see so many ads the whole time. But again, refining that process and becoming successful at it. So I would say, give yourself the chance to learn. Give yourself the chance to experiment, and out of that you'll get successful.
Yeah, so I wanna bring in Gary V again, and something that we've also did in the in DNA Supersystems and the previous products is some practical steps and wisdom from your side on the different digital marketing platforms, what you should choose. Also, before you just jump into, let's say, Facebook marketing, to see if your business is really viable on Facebook marketing, or should you do something like YouTube? Should you do like LinkedIn, Twitter, your specific platform, Google Ads? If you wanted to give some practical steps on how that works and what you should be on the lookout before you just jump into something, and then give yourself the time to understand that platform, to really engage into it, see what happens. And I mean, maybe there's a couple of people watching this that have some experience in it, and there's others that haven't even heard what a split test is, what's the difference between two different ads that you're running. So if you can get into that.
Yeah, no, very good question. And I think that's, again, one of the things we overcame is you get into the space of digital marketing, and you, for instance, do a course where you learn all of the different things, and then you immediately go jump on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, with a website, and you do everything at the same time, and then you actually, it doesn't help you. So let me actually go back into this presentation. I'll get to that because there's a process I actually want to show people of what is the process to follow when you start digital marketing. And in that process, this question will actually come up. So
cool.
Let me switch over to this. This is just a follow on from where I was earlier. And this is why should you do digital marketing? And I think that's a good question to answer first, because I'm sitting here and I'm talking about, okay, you must know that it's going to be difficult. You must know you're going to need to test, all this type of stuff. And again, I don't want to sound pessimistic. I just want to communicate the reality to people, and help them to get through the process, because I know there's going to be a stumbling block, and I don't want you to stop when you hit the stumbling block. And if you know there's going to be difficulty, you can overcome that, because the results that you can get from pushing through is just amazing. So the main thing about it is to stay relevant. These are just some of the statistics out there, and this is all research. You can go look it up. Potential customers go to your website to check you out before making a purchase. You'll see a lot of times products advertised on Instagram or influencers showing certain things, or a brand that advertises on TV, or whatever the case is. A lot of the time, a majority of people actually go to that company's website to first read up who they are, what they're about, where they're based. Are there any testimonials of other customers that are happy, are satisfied with the services, all those types of things. And that's why it's so important to firstly have a good website that really communicates the vibe and the brand and the idea behind your company, where any potential customer can find all the information they need without even needing to do a lot of searching.
I usually tell my clients, put yourself in your shoes. What do you do before you purchase? You go and look, you go and make sure there's good reviews, etc. Yeah,
exactly. And a lot of people don't think that way when they do their own thing.
Yes.
But if you got to think, can record yourself when you go do other online transactions, and then you can model that. The next thing, e-commerce and online shopping is booming. And again, we spoke about 2020 and the whole move to the digital world, and this is just becoming more and more and more prevalent. A lot of people now, I mean, it's not even just going onto an online store. Now we're going into virtual tours of shops where you can virtually on your phone go into a shop. You can click on a clothing item off the shelf. The thing appears on the screen. You can do a 3D rotation of it. It's just going insane. And
we're losing you there for a bit.
It's just going to be more and more and more. You put petrol in your car, drive to the shopping center, go into the shop where you can do all of it from your phone, have it delivered to you. So yeah. Then the next thing, access international markets and products. Again, this was never possible until the internet and the whole digital marketing sphere opened up. If you have a digital product, or if you have the ability to ship internationally, you now have access to what is it now? Over 7 billion people. Okay, let's say people on the internet, 5 to 6 billion, probably in that range.
I think we only had 3 billion, but that's that's another digital marketing, especially if you're shipping from South Africa. That's another strategy altogether at the international. But in any
that's
case,
a different ball game. But that market is open to people.
It is.
But especially if you create a digital product, I mean, the amount of people in your country compared to the amount of people, let's say, in India or America or Canada or whatever the case is, you just have such a bigger market. Instant access and satisfaction, that's a major thing for people nowadays. And that's, that's what made the whole fast food industry successful. Now we're going to online products, is that people want, if they can get it now and they can have the experience they want now instead of waiting a week, they are more likely to do that. And that's what having a digital system allows you to do. The average person spends 5 to 7 hours a day on social media, which is firstly crazy. If I'm standing here as a coach, then I would say it's crazy. But standing as a digital marketer, I can tell you, here's your opportunity to cash in, because your audience is literally in a place where you can make yourself visible. And you can capture their attention, and they're spending the hours there so they can see you over and over and over again. So you want to make use of that opportunity. And then again, think of the effects of the 2020 lockdown and things. If you can put yourself on that person's screen and activate a desire in them because you solve a problem that they have, then they're going to interact with you.
I know of the one company, but just a testimonial that was in skincare products. I think they grew about 1,000% in 2020. That's insane. Ridiculous. That's crazy.
But again, would they have done that if they didn't have the right infrastructure in place?
Yeah, they were ready for it. That's the thing. They were ready for it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So the best time is always now. That's how it
works. Well, the best time was yesterday, but or 1 year back. But the second best time is now. Take action now.
Hindsight is always 2020.
Yes, actually, it was 2020.
So yeah, that's actually where I wanted to get to, and I think this is going to answer your question about what platforms must people focus on when they start looking into it. So this is the process actually of what I often recommend people do when they start the digital marketing process as a whole. The first thing is, it doesn't start with your computer or what you put online. It starts with you as a person. And whether you are a small business and you're the embodiment of that business, or whether you are marketing a big business, people don't act with the entity or corporation. They interact with a person or a story that is in that entity. So it always starts with the human aspect. And I think a lot of people forget this with digital marketing. There needs to be the human aspect, because people want to interact with other humans. There must be a relationship. There must be a story. There must be, that's what people are after. And that is what has made humanity get to,
the realness. Getting
exactly.
back to Gary again, and with other popular and successful digital marketers, and real.
Absolutely. So if you are not prepared to be the embodiment of what you are trying to sell, a lot of people, they just go find a product and they throw it online and try to sell it, or stuff like that. If you are wanting to build a brand and build a company, you need to be able to embody it. So don't go and try become a health supplement guru online and then you like massively obese or something like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but if you are trying to embody a certain image, you need to be that image.
Yes.
And the way you communicate, how you live, and then again, are you willing to actually put that content online? Are you willing to just walk in and make a live Facebook video to your followers, say, hey guys, this is what I'm doing, check this out, that type of stuff? Are you willing to actually put yourself out there as that person, or at least have a brand ambassador to create that human aspect? That's the first thing you need to start with, defining who you are, what you want to accomplish, and living that lifestyle. Again, the second thing then is your audience. And a lot of people also completely skip this step when they just want to quickly put their business on social media or create a website and get it out there. But again, you can have, if you talk to everybody, you're talking to nobody. And that's something that I think people can take out of this, is that, again, if I am selling, I'm involved with coffee in a certain venture. If I'm selling coffee, it doesn't help that I publish my ads, but it's reaching people who are off caffeine and they only do tea, for instance. Then I'm spending half of my budget on people that's not even going to be interested in looking at my product. So what I mean by audience, it means you need to take the time to write down in a paragraph, clear and concisely, who is your target audience. And more specifically than an audience, if you can create what we call a customer avatar. So let's say this is Ben, and Ben is married, he's got 2 children. This is his income bracket. This is the type of car he drives. This is the type of friends he has. This is his type of hobbies on the weekend. All try get it as specific as possible to describe that person's life in terms of who is the ideal person you want to talk to. And then from there on, then whenever you create a Facebook post, whether you're writing copy on your website, when you are creating a video, you know exactly who you are talking to, and you can tailor your language, your imagery, your content, your styling, everything onto that specific person. Because again, if you just create the standard, boring looking corporate content, everybody's going to scroll past. But if you create a specific content for a specific type of person, they are more likely to engage with that when they see it, because it's who they are. And so you want to make yourself look as close to your target audience as possible.
And also sorry if I can get in there, but with like communities on Facebook groups, I mean, even if it's organic type of marketing, it's still a form of digital marketing, because it's on a digital platform, on people specifically interested in that niche. Let's say take coffee. I mean, I'm sure there's like a snobs coffee vibe on or group on Facebook and Pinterest, and people giving advice on how the perfect coffee is, or forums, Quora, YouTube. I mean, those people are those that you want to interact with and say, okay, try out my brand, give me feedback again. I mean, or some advice on that.
Absolutely. And I think you touched on something there. And this is what a lot of people mistake digital marketing. They think digital marketing is just digital advertising, where you're actually spending money to just advertise a product. That is only one component. Again, digital marketing includes just your sharing something on Facebook, just going into a group, like you say, who is a target audience of people. I mean, if you have a gluten-free baking business or channel or whatever the case is, going into a Facebook group of people who are sharing gluten-free baking recipes and interacting in that group and adding value to that group is digital marketing, because
Yes.
you are building a network of people who are seeing, okay, this person knows what they're talking about. I want to be a friend of, I want to add
Yeah.
a friend, and I want to find out more about what they're doing. And there is where the relationship starts.
And
So
in
that's
the
a very
end,
important
it's
thing.
it's the best marketing because it's free in a sense, because you just share who you are, and then they see
Absolutely.
what you do, and they buy
Absolutely.
into you. The relationship again comes down to value, kindness. Yeah, it's awesome.
Absolutely. Caring.
Yep.
And that then ties into your question in terms of the content and the platforms that you're putting that content on. And this is why I mentioned the second step of creating your ideal audience. Who is your ideal target person?
Mm.
Because then you are able to determine whether you need to go do a survey for this, or whether you're able to determine this by yourself. There's so many ways of determining that target audience, but you can then go determine, okay, is this person primarily on Facebook? Are they more of an Instagram user? Are they more of a Twitter? They're involved in a lot of political stuff and following, that type of stuff. Are
Yeah.
they more on LinkedIn because they're more of a professional type of business consultant? YouTube is, are they a type of person who's typing in how to do this? Then you
Yes.
want to go more onto your YouTube and
Value.
your Google,
Mm.
because you got to think, yeah, how is that person interacting? If you are let's say you helping a person, let's say you do health, some form of nutrition coaching or whatever, and you want to write a blog or create a product on a green smoothie, or for instance, then you got to go think, okay, is a person now who wants to get this type of product, or is looking how to eat healthy, are they scrolling through Facebook to hopefully find someone who comes up with a health article? Or are they going, for instance, onto YouTube or Google and typing how to make a healthy green smoothie?
Yes.
That type of thing. Then you want to make sure that you are there with those keywords and positioning yourself there. On
I
the other hand,
actually,
let's say, yeah,
sorry, while you're saying that, I saw a awesome hack. If you go on, you open Google Chrome or something like that, and you open up a incognito tab, and you type in, let's say in YouTube how to, the most popular searches in that area comes up without it accessing your algorithms of what you would like to watch. So but that's just a inside thing. There's
yeah,
a thing
awesome.
that I saw the other day. In any case, sorry, Jess,
You can
I'm
see what the most
interrupting.
popular
Yeah,
categories are. Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, and then yeah, just one last example. If you are in the health and fitness, for instance, let's say bodybuilding or something.
yeah.
Instagram has become very popular for that, in terms of posting yourself in the gym or lifting a weight
Mm,
or doing exercise, that type of thing, because it's visual. So
yes,
if you're about visual and you're selling something based on how you look, then Instagram is very good for that.
yeah.
So again, it
Lifestyle.
comes down to who is your ideal audience, and where's the best place to reach them. We call this almost a watering hole concept,
Okay.
where is your audience congregating? It's
Oh
like a
wow.
watering hole. It's like a watering hole out in wildlife. We from Africa, so we understand the whole concept. In the savannah, there's like, it's very dry, doesn't rain often, just these open grasslands, and then you get these watering holes, which are like lakes out there where water is, and all the animals, basically all the different types of animals, come to the watering hole, and that's where they all drink, and they almost kind
That's
of
a
leave
cool
each other
analogy.
alone, because they know
Yeah.
they all need water, and they're sharing a type of thing.
Yeah, but
And
be like a watering hole. Create your company to be a watering hole. Yeah. So yeah,
exactly,
make it
exactly.
rain.
And if you're not there yet, if you're just starting out, find where your ideal audience is busy
Yes.
congregating, because that's where you want to put your little hot dog stand up and say,
Yeah.
yeah, while you're getting your water, you can get this. So yeah, and then just
Oh
to
wow.
finish this off, that leads into community. On the specific platform where you want to build a community. A lot of people watching this will obviously immediately know what this means, in terms of they have their own people who they follow
Mm,
on YouTube. You have subscribed to somebody because they either are someone you relate to, or they have content that you like and that adds value to your life. Whatever the case is, you form part of the community of that person's brand and channel. And in the same way, you want to create that community around you. And that's why you don't want to just use digital marketing to promote products and try to sell things. And that's what I try to get across to most people. People are not interested in your product advertising. They're interested in how you can add value to their life,
Yeah,
help them
solve
live
their
better,
problem.
think better, do better, feel better, think in terms of verbs and emotions. And out of that, then you can say, let's say you share a YouTube video, how to make this green smoothie. And you take them through the whole process, what needs to go in there, in what ratios. That adds value to someone who has no clue how to do it. And at the end, maybe you selling a certain blender, or maybe you selling a certain powder that you can add to the smoothie, which has so many health benefits. That's where you want to come in, because you've added value, you've built a relationship. Somebody then trusts you because you're taking the time to educate them. And out of trust, that's where they want to become a customer and actually go further with you. So that's the idea of community. That leads to the next point there, which is sales from your community. That is where you're going to get sales from, not from just promoting an advert to people who have no clue who you are. Out of the community that you build around you, because they get value from you. And then the last part there, I'll just touch on it, measure and optimize. That has to do with analytics. There's so many tools out there. The obvious and most widely used free one is Google Analytics, where you can basically see, okay, how many people came onto my site and my products, how many bought, how many dropped off, what pages were visited the most. So it's kind of just helps you to understand what campaigns have been working more effectively, so that you can understand what to do more of, what to stop, what to improve. It's just about taking that feedback and then improving on it.
Yeah.
So that's basically that. And then, so the last thing I actually have here is a case study of somebody who came through our training and actually applied a lot of the principles that we teach. So I've got him as a pseudonym here, Toby. His situation is his company, they are life consultants, life coaches, marriage counselors, career guidance counselors, all sorts of anything that has to do with family and helping a family become better and all that type of stuff, if I can sum it up that way. And they kind of had they had a website and things, but no digital marketing plan and strategy, if I can put it that way. A lot of their stuff was personal network and people they know and the whole physical routes and things like that. And basically we took, he was part of a group of people who came through our training of digital marketing, how to structure everything in a funnel, how to build your sales funnel, how to use DNA Supersystems to build a website almost overnight, and funnels and things, how to integrate your email and CRM systems, how to then market it on Facebook. What do you post on Facebook? What do you post on Instagram? We did the whole thing. And he really went and put a lot of effort into it, built a stunning website, is doing a lot of amazing things. And so he was basically just promoting this and to the right audience and everything, but was really struggling to get leads and people and customers in. And this comes down again to what we spoke about, testing what works and what doesn't work. And I sat down with him the one day and we spoke about it. And one of the things we were doing, instead of just having a boring e-learning online course, we actually had a challenge where we were coaching and interacting people live and releasing a certain challenge for people to do every day to get them to a certain goal. And a lot of people like that, because people like to be challenged and they like to be in a thing where there's a certain time limit and you've got people doing it with you, that you can have accountability and that type of thing. And so I told him, I said, you know what you need to do? You need to take your marriage course or consulting or whatever that you use to get people in, and you need to turn it into a free online challenge on Facebook, for instance, and call it a 14-day improve your marriage experience challenge or something like that. And he actually really went and did this. He took a lot of his content, his material, his IP and all of that, and him and his team went and created a 14-day free marriage challenge.
Wow.
And all the benefits and things that came out of that. And they started promoting that. And immediately they got signups. And then those people started sharing it with their friends and sharing it with their, because it was such a cool concept and everybody wanted to do it because it looked so fun. And basically he got over 24 couples in his first challenge, and he had a waiting list for his following challenges.
Wow.
And that was literally from starting that campaign, instead of, and this was from almost drips and drops coming in from his previous strategy. So that is basically the power of, if you're willing to go through the process, build the right systems, but willing to go through that experimentation.
Yeah.
Because I think that's, and this is a journey I went through as well. And what I want to encourage people with is you're going to spend a lot of time and effort. If you do it yourself, maybe you're going to get people to do it for you, which is going to help you a lot. And that's obviously what we do. But if you do it yourself and you go through the process, there is going to be a period of trying and testing and experimenting, and times of disappointment. But don't let that stop you. Just let that be. You found one. Thomas Edison, when he was trying to invent the light bulb, said, he failed on. I'm going to use a number. I don't know if the quote is exact, but 999.
Yeah, 1,000 and
let's call it
something
that.
times.
And then the next time he got it right. So he said, every time he failed, he says, no, I haven't failed. I've just found another way that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I want to put it that way. There is a way that works. People wouldn't be doing digital marketing, wouldn't be putting themselves out some platforms and doing this whole thing if it didn't work. And this is one of the biggest industries, billions and billions of dollars a year. So I just want to encourage you with that there is definitely a route, and almost it's essential for you to get your business and promote yourself digitally. It's just about finding the right strategies, the right techniques, and the right way of promoting your unique solution in your own unique way to your own unique audience.
Yeah.
And if you're going to use anybody to help you do that, find somebody who understands this process, and find somebody who also understands the need to extract the value out of you and to give that value to your audience first before trying to sell anything or do things like that. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have from my side.
No, that's awesome. I think we can land it like this and then maybe take it on in the next session, and hopefully we get some questions in and we can address them. But just to end it off, you mentioned the platform training. Is that still available to people out there? Or if someone wanted to get hold of you or the team, what's the process that they can follow? And then we can, I think, take it over to a next session on another day and see where it goes.
Yeah, so I think at the moment, the best thing people could do if they are interested, whether it is in digital marketing services, whether it is in coaching or training, we offer all of the above. Head over to dnasupersystems.com. I'm sure the link will be in the comments or in the post. Or you can just go to the Facebook page where this is streamed. You'll be able to find it there. And on the website, you can just book a free discovery Zoom meeting with us. We will set up a meeting with you, 45 minutes, absolutely free, no obligation. We're not going to pester you into anything. You can literally come with, you can fill in a form to tell us exactly what is the kind of thing you're looking for. You come into the meeting, you can express exactly what it is you're trying to do, what is your business, what is your product, what is your solution that you're trying to build. We will assess it. We will, in that meeting, show you exactly what are the different routes you can follow, almost provide you with a detailed strategy plan that you can immediately take out of that meeting and implement in your business. We won't charge you anything for that. It's literally just free help, free value to get you started. And obviously out of that meeting, we can discuss if you are interested in any training or any services or things like that. We first want to meet you and see if we are a match. Yeah. We also don't just take on, we're not like these people who they just take any business because it's business. We want to make sure that even the stuff we do, is it something where we can add value to you? Yes. And if we can't do that for you, then we don't want to do it, because we care more about that relationship and about everybody's success rather than just, making money. So, awesome. So that's what we're about. So yeah, head over there, book a discovery meeting with us, and then we'll see you on Zoom on a video call.
Cool. Justin, thank you so much for trinkets of wisdom and some experience on whatever happened, failures and successes. We'll definitely see each other in the future in different innovation sessions. And so guys, be on the lookout. Like I said in the beginning, please go and type out a comment or a question in the comments bar. If you guys have specific questions or sessions that you would like us to address in areas of digital marketing, of innovation, of digital transformation, we have a list of what we are going through, but if you guys have something that we can try and answer, we'll do it to the best. You can head over. I left the links in the comment bar to the directly to the booking session if you wanted to make an appointment. And then if you want your own Zoom background, there's also a link to that. But we'll see you guys on the next innovation session on Thursday, if everything goes well. And we hope you have an awesome day. Justin, thanks again, and we'll see you guys soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Andre. Really appreciate the time and look forward to more of these in the future.
Yes. Awesome, guys. Have a good one. Have a blessed day. Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Bye.